What is going on, guys? So I'm trying to make videos to be informational and to be better. I am striving to give as much information as I can about the military, about the Marine Corps, or whatever it may be. So if you have any comments, drop them down below. If you got any questions, like I said, drop them down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, tell me how I can improve. I may or may not take it. Alright, so this is going to be about the pay in the military, your BAH, and how to break it down. So pretty much I broke down an LES. What that is leave and earning statement, right? So it's pretty much going to look like this. You're going to have your entitlements here up at the top, and you're going to have your base pay. So my base pay, and I apologize, this is backwards. My base pay is $2,000, right? Now I'm rounding on things, but my base pay is $2,000, and you can actually calculate this. They have a USMC pay chart. Actually, all military is the same, so it doesn't matter if you're E2 in the Navy, E2 in the Coast Guard, Air Force, whatever. You're gonna get the same amount of basic pay. BAS. So this is actually your food allowance, and everybody gets this. Everybody gets these two, no matter what. Now, some of it may get taken later, and I'll tell you about that. BAH. So this is my BAH, depending on where you live. Your BAH, one is depending on your duty station, depending on if you are married. Most people do not have BAH, especially if you're like an E3 to E4. You're probably not going to have BAH unless you are married or you have a child, where you need to have like your own separate house. Most E1 to E3 is going to be in the barracks. There are certain times where you can apply for BAH for being like a single corporal or sergeant or things like that. Now this is with USMC, so I do know some Air Force that have BAH at an E3 and are single. Well, not single, they got girlfriends, but you know what I mean, not married. So that's pretty much what your BAH is. It's based on your duty station, based on if you have dependents or not. So out here in San Diego, California, like I said, you can look this up. There is a calculator where you can type in the zip code of your duty station, what rank you are, and then it will give you with dependents or without, and it'll break it down. So that's actually this up here, since I'm on the topic. So an E2 out here with dependents gets 2,600. Yeah, 2,691. Without dependents gets 2,019. Same thing for the E3, same thing for the E4. Now the E5 is where it changes. It goes to $2,949 with dependents and $2,268 without dependents. So all depends on the size of your family as well. But anyway, you're going to have the BAH. Now this is everything that you would be getting paid, right? Some other things may be going into that, like COLA, which is cost of living allowance. So if where you are living is higher than the normal cost or whatnot, you may get COLA. Hazard pay, things like that, but those are different stories. I believe Japan, if you're actually stationed out there, I think you get COLA. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a COLA calculator as well, and you can type in your duty station and everything. I think you get COLA if you're based in San Francisco, California, but not San Diego. But anyway, so that is, you take all this and you add it up, and that will be your entitlements. Now deductions. So you have your taxes, your federal tax, Social Security, Medicare, your SGLI. Excuse me, if I am not mistaken, this is like my 400,000 life insurance or whatever. State Farm, you can opt out of that. State Farm, SGLI, I think that's for my spouse, or maybe this one's for my spouse and this one's for me. I don't remember. Roth, so this is my 401k, that TSP that I have coming out. I put in a certain percentage, and so this comes out. So all these deductions are added up. So once this is added up and this is added up, you take this, subtract this, and that's how you will get this down here. This is your pay. They break it up, so I get 2,271, it looks like. So I get roughly, we'll say $5,000 a month. And then they break it up in 2 payments. And so that's what I get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Or at the end of the month and the 15th, whatever it is. I never really actually know because we get that early pay, you know? But yeah, so that is how your leaves and earning statement will look. I've already explained the BAH and what that consists of. Now I will explain, excuse me, explain this just a little bit. So this is your basic pay. This is how you calculate it. Once again, you can go on a military pay chart. This is kind of what it's going to look like, right? You're going to have it E1, E2, E3, E so on and so forth. Now what this says is less than 2 years. So if you're at E3 with less than 2 years, you're going to get $2,104. If you're an E2 with less than 2 years, you get 2001. E1, you get $1,785. If you were at boot camp training, like, it will be a different pay. So you're not going to get any of these. It's going to be a different pay. But as you go up in years, so this is over 2, over 3, and it will continue on over 4, over 5, or whatever it may be on the side. And this is pretty much how you read it. So you just go to what you are and go, okay, I am an E2 with over 2 years. I'm going to get $2,001. And if you notice, this is pretty much all you can stay as a little E2. You will never get a pay raise. So you have to bump up, go to E3. And then if you notice, E3, and you're over 2 years, you're not going to change. You have to keep ranking up in order to keep making money. Unless you're like this E1 that has less than 2 years. And then you make it to an E. Actually, no. You just get E1 pay, period. It doesn't go up at all. You have to make it to E2 in order to get paid more. And then you have to make it to E3 to even start getting a little bit more pay with being over a couple years. So that's pretty much how you read it. It's broken down. Like I said, you can look all this stuff up. It's going to be the same across the board, whether you're Marines, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Army, whatever. An E3 is going to get paid an E3 pay no matter which branch you're in. I hope this helps. You can do a lot with the money that you're making. Obviously, I get this down here, and guess what? The house that I have does not add up to this. I actually live in an RV, and I pay $800 for my RV. So, because I get this housing allowance up here, this 26, right? $26.94. I get this housing allowance. You take all this and you minus $800 that I pay for my house, and that's what I keep. So when I say that you can make money moves in the military, you can make money moves even if you're on the East Coast. So if you're on the East Coast, for example, when I was in boot camp, right? I was married before the Marine Corps, so I actually got BAH while I was in boot camp. I was very lucky. I think I got $1,500. Obviously, not as much as out here, right? But I only paid $700 for my house at the time, where my wife was still living while I was in boot camp. So I still banked $800. Just saying, if you play things right, you can make some money. Don't look at I got all this to spend. Look at how much you can save and where you can put your money, because there is money in the military if you work it right. I explained this in another video not too long ago, where if you are a single Marine and you're living in a barracks, let's say, for example, you are an E3. You are an E3 and you are making $2,100 a month. Okay? Because that's less than 2 years. Your baby. Right? Hell, even E2. Let's go with the E2 making $2,000 a month. If you were living in the barracks, you were making $2,000 a month. What do you have to pay? You don't have to pay for housing. You don't have to pay for water. Matter of fact, you don't have to pay for food. And I'll go back on this in a minute. because you're already being paid for food. So if you are not, let me rephrase. If you are living in the barracks, this will actually get taken out down here. So they're giving you this, but they're going to take it down here. And you get to eat it at the chow hall for free. Now, is it great food? I'm not going to say that it is. It depends on the chow hall. It depends on which branch. There is a lot of conspiracy theories out there with which branch is the best. I think it's the Air Force. Navy chow hall isn't that bad either. But not on the ships. Like I said, let's say you're E2, making $2,000. You're not paying for food. In theory, you may want to go and obviously get whatever, Chick-fil-A, stuff like that. But if you didn't do that kind of thing, you don't have to pay for food because it's all provided for. You don't have to pay for housing. You don't have to pay for water. You don't have to pay for electric. You don't have to pay for garbage because everything is already there. What do you have to pay for? Your car? Don't get an expensive car. Get a car payment that's like $200 a month. Your insurance? Your phone bill? Your internet? That shouldn't be, all that together shouldn't be more than $600. That means you're making an extra $1,400 a paycheck. Roughly. Let's take out taxes and things like that. Okay. You're at least making another $100. I cannot talk. You're at least making another $1,000. That's just sitting there. So be smart. Because you don't have to pay for anything. And if you do get BAH and you do have a family, be smart on what you get. Because there are money moves in the military that are available. That is all I have. If you have any questions, like I said, drop them down below. I'll try my best to answer them.